Hey, long time no speak, my lovelies. Haven't been on here for a while. Had a few things going on and that kind of thing, but I thought I'd jump on here. A few things have happened of late and over the last few months, so it's not going to be kind of like loads of different things that I'm going to talk about and rant about. It's just going to be a whole situation, which is the current kind of world we're living in at the moment. Most people are struggling uh, with everything going up in price. Some of us, like myself, struggling just to get to fucking work because these clowns keep going on fucking strike. Um, we've got other people now that are now going to join in. All of a sudden, the buses decided to join in yesterday and have a strike. The trams are on strike. The trains saying they're going to go on strike regularly now. The tube are going on strike. The teachers are now saying they want to work less. Nurses and doctors are muting about the fact. In actual fact, pretty much the whole fucking world, or country at least, is going to be on strike, and there's just going to be a few, a select few of us that don't live in an industry where you can go on strike are just going to have to carry on trying to fucking work while all these other people are moaning about they want more money because things are more expensive. Well, don't we fucking all? Don't we all want more money? I'd love more money, but you're not going to get people on your side by ruining people's way of making money. People are struggling enough as it is, and then you get these fucking clowns going on strike, and people can't get to work, can't get to meetings, can't do this, can't do that, and then they say it's they're doing it for the benefit of everyone. Well, can someone please let me know how trains going on strike and they get their fucking 10%, 15%? Fuck it, give them 100% pay rise. You know what I mean? Let's be ridiculous about it. Let's give them double the money that they're getting now, just for the hell of it. If someone can explain to me how this whole situation with the train workers going on strike and this idiot of a man from the RMT saying that he's doing it for the benefit of everyone, how the fuck is this ever going to benefit me? When they get what they get, if they get it, they're going to be earning far more than they're actually worth. So they're going to be laughing. They're going to be laughing in our faces because the service they provide at the moment is fucking piss poor at best. Just to let you know, the main train service that I use is Southern. They've been voted the worst rail company in the UK for the third year running, and then these fucking clowns want to go on strike because they think they deserve to be paid more because of their working conditions and the fact that everything's going up. Working conditions. They're running less fucking trains than they've ever done before. The trains that they are running, most of them don't turn up because there's no fucking staff. Or we've got this new one that's being trotted out every Monday or every other Monday when I'm trying to get to work, that there aren't enough trains available because there's too many that need fixing. Oh, fuck off. This is taking the piss. You're taking the piss out of people. Now let's be realistic about strike action for a minute. You normally take action so that your bosses will have to be forced into accepting your terms. So they're deciding to run a shitter service than the shit service they're already running as it is. And the shit service they're running as it is because the management are quite happy to run a shit service. So what you're actually doing is not actually doing anything that makes management sit up and go, do you know what? We better give them what they're asking. Because all you're doing is doing what they've been doing, running a shit service and having a complete and utter disregard for your customers and the people that use your service every day. Rail management couldn't care a fuck about anyone using their trains because they've got our money already. I've already paid for my year season ticket. A lot of people have already paid for their monthly or their weekly or their season ticket. They've got the money already. So why should they give a shit that we can't get to work? They've got our money. So this strike action they're taking is a fucking empty threat. All they're doing is just being shitter than how already shit they already are. So management are sitting there going, well, we don't care. We run a shit service. We get voted shit every year and we don't care. We don't care about our commuters. We don't care about giving them the service that they pay for. So why is this action actually going to make management listen to them and give them what they want? It won't. It won't make them change their minds because they're quite happy to run a shit service and get money for something that's shit because they don't care about their customers. And the staff of the rail companies care just as little about the people that use their service as management do. So how in the hell, if this situation ever gets resolved and they get their 10% or whatever it is pay rise, how does that make me better off? Mick Lynch of the RMT explained to me how I'm going to be better off because of this action that you're taking if you get what you want. Because all I can really see is people are going to be paid for doing a shit job, but paid even more for doing a shit job. And the services are going to get any better, and you're just going to become more powerful, Mr. Lynch. That's what this is all about. This is about using your members of your union to be fucking pawns in your game to get more power. That's what this is all about. And if fuck anyone else that gets affected by this. He couldn't give a shit about people who can't get to work and can't get to anywhere, can't get to important meetings, can't get to hospital appointments, can't get to important appointments. He don't give a fuck. Neither do the management of the train companies, neither do the people who work on the train companies. They don't give a shit about the people that need their service. So why should I give a shit about them? Why should I be 100% behind them? You get all these fucking morons that jump on social media saying, I support them, and say, do you use the trains? No. Well, then fuck off then. You're not in a position to tell me that I'm wrong for not supporting them when you don't use the train service and you haven't suffered for the last so many years, even before COVID. The fucking appalling service that we pay for and that we don't get. We don't get a service. And then you get these fucking jokers that jump on Facebook and Twitter and that having a go at us saying, oh, without people taking this action, people can just steamroller over people. Oh, fuck off. They've got an easy life on the railways. Let's be honest. They're running nowhere near the service they are, so there's nowhere near as many trains running. You know, it's not a difficult job. They just want more money because things are more expensive. Well, don't we all? Don't we all? How about you take action that would make your management sit up and take notice? At the moment, it's the summer holidays. So people are travelling or trying to travel here, there and everywhere to go on holiday, to take day trips and take their kids out. How about this? Here's an idea. Make management sit up and pay attention to you. Do what the French train workers did a few years back. They weren't happy with their conditions and their pay. So they said, right, we need to do something that makes management sit up and take notice of what we're about. Do you know what they did? They literally opened the gates of all the train stations, closed all the ticket offices and just let everyone travel for free. They just went every week, 1 day a week. They all just sat back. No one done any revenue control. No one checked any tickets. No, all the barriers were open. People could just walk through and travel for absolutely nothing. And they'd done it a couple of times and then management went, fuck me, we're losing so much money here. Think of the money they would lose over the next couple of weeks while we've still got the 6-week summer holiday. People travelling here, there and everywhere, and they can travel for nothing. Because no one's getting them to pay for a fare, no one's checking their fare, no one's checking their tickets. The money they would lose, then they would pay up, look up and pay attention. Because that's where they're going to be worried. That's the only thing they're worried about, more money. And if they're losing money, they would probably pay more attention. The way the things are going at the moment and the action they're taking now, they're not losing any money. They're not losing any money at all. You know, people who can't get here, there and everywhere, they've already paid for their tickets in advance. If you went and took that action like the French transport workers done and let people travel for free, then, one, you would get people on your side for a fact. Two, you would make management pay attention because you're hitting them where they actually are bothered, which is their profits, their bonuses, their things that they have to pay out to shareholders and stuff like that. With all this cost of living going on at the moment and everything going up in price, the problem we've got now is no one is fighting our corner to try and resolve things. The government don't give a fuck. They don't give a shit that people are going to be left in the winter. Do I stay warm or do I eat food? That's the basic decision people are going to be left with. The other problem we got is there's a perception that if you've got a job and you work, you don't need any help, you're fine. No, fuck off. We're the ones that are getting clobbered the most. Because not only are we having to pay back through taxes going up and things going up here, there and everywhere, pay up for these things, we're also the ones that are stumping up paying for all the money that was wasted over COVID, the billions that was paid out in furlough that shouldn't have been, that the government have just wrote off and said, £4 billion, we'll just forget it, we won't chase after these companies that we know made fraudulent furlough claims, we just let them get away with it. But it's us that fucking pay it back. I didn't get any time off over the COVID whatsoever, didn't get furloughed, had to work through it, and now my reward for not trying to ponce money out of the system that I weren't entitled to is you're going to take more money off me to pay back the money that people mugged and drained out of the system illegally. And now we've got a government that have got no leader. You know, the leader that's still there at the moment knows he's only there till October, then he's fucking off. He don't give a shit. He's pissed off on holiday abroad and leaving everything to just burn while he's jollying it up. You've got these two clowns arguing like two kids in a playground about who to be the next leader of the Tory party. They're both as fucking useless as each other. They both try and make out that they're in touch with the people. No, they're not. They're in their own fucking bubble of a world that they've never ever experienced, which is the honest world of earning a living through hard graft and working properly, not having mummy and daddy hand it to you on a fucking silver platter, or being born into it, or being married into it, Mr. Sunak. Mr. Sunak is a fucking multi-millionaire so many times over, and so's his missus. So they don't know what it's like to struggle. How can he have any perception of how people are struggling at the moment? And then he tries to play the card of, hey, I'm the man of the people. He gets asked the other day about eating in McDonald's. There's no fucking way that guy has ever eaten in McDonald's. Not a chance. So he comes out with, oh, I like the breakfast wrap. That fucking thing hasn't been on sale in McDonald's since before lockdown. So he's just pulled something out of his head. Somewhere in the past, he remember maybe having one or seeing an advert for it. Tries to connect with the people by saying, oh yeah, my favourite thing in McDonald's is a breakfast wrap. Yeah, something that hasn't been fucking sold for 2 years. I don't like being mugged off with these people trying to say I'm a man of the people, or I'm a woman of the people, or I'm a politician of the people, when they fucking ain't. They don't know what it's like to work hard. They don't know what it's like to worry about how you pay this bill and pay that bill, robbing Peter to pay Paul and stuff like that. And then you get Keir Starmer tries to be the man of the people. He's another one. Privileged background, privileged upbringing. He never ever had to fucking work for a living. He's never had to struggle. He's never had to make choices of, do I buy this or do I buy that? What do I go without? What do I need? Never had to worry about that. Neither of these other two fucking jokers squabbling like kids about being a leader of the Conservative Party and then possibly going on to be the Prime Minister. So we're fucked. We're fucked. And I mean, I don't mean we, everyone. What's going to basically happen, and I know people are going to watch this and probably scream at their screens that I'm wrong with this. The poor are no longer the poor. The poor are getting these extra money, this bit of extra money towards their electricity bills. People are looking out for the poor. People are making sure the poor don't struggle. But it isn't them that are the ones that are being left behind and are struggling. It's just your normal, average working person. Normal, average working people are using food banks. Or they're using community fridges. I've been and used community fridges and food banks. I know other people that are working full time, but to try and tide things over and to try and save a bit of money because these fucking energy companies are bending us over and fucking us with all these bills going up and up and up and up, and no one's stepping in to stop them. People that are working full time still fucking struggle, but that's not the perception. The perception is if you've got a job, then you can't be struggling. We are fucking struggling. We're the ones that are struggling the most because we're paying back the money that these people stole out of the system and have been given left, right, and centre. We've got a large section of our population that don't want to work. Not that they can't work. I fully understand people that maybe have disabilities of their own or have got commitments at home where they're either caring for themselves or caring for a sibling or caring for their children and they can't work. I can completely understand that. But we have got a big problem with people that think, why should I work when I can just be given money for doing fuck all? And no one's chasing them. However, you get people that try to work and try to use the system fairly and they get fucked over. They get a job and then because of the dates that they get paid, they keep having their universal credit stopped because, oh, you've been paid twice in a month. No, I haven't been paid twice in a month. It's my wages, because of the dates that my wages get paid. It looks like I've been paid twice in a month, but it's not. It's my next month's money. They go, oh, sorry, you've got no universal credit for next month. So then these people are fucked because they haven't got the assistance they're getting, so they've got less money. And it's things like that. But the normal working person, the person that's not earning 80, 90, 100 grand a year, your normal kind of 20, 25 grand a year people, they're the ones that are getting fucked the most at the moment. And there's no help for them because the perception is, well, you're working, so you don't need any help. Yes, we fucking do. We do need help because our train fares are going to be going up again. Food's going up. Heating's going up. Electric's going up. The water will be going up because they're telling us that because we've had a couple of weeks of sunshine, we're in a fucking drought all of a sudden. Even though we had the wettest winter since records began, just gone. We've got no fucking water at the moment, so we're going to have to pay more for that. So it's us that are stuck in that middle section, just the workers that are going to get fucked over and be expected to pick up the shortfall to help everyone else. And then the upper echelon, the upper people that are earning ridiculous amounts of money are just allowed to carry on earning more and more and more. We have to do something about this. We have to make a stand against things. You know, it's all very well typing things on the keyboard and going, I'm upset about this and I'm upset about that. Fucking do something. A guy was on the TV the other day saying to people, the only way around this energy crisis and the energy bills is everyone just refuses to pay what they're asking. And it's right. If everyone turned around and went, oh, fuck off, we're not paying that, there's no need for it to be that expensive, we'll pay what it's worth. We'll pay what it should be, not your overinflated prices so that you can pay your shareholders out and blaming it on bollocks like, oh, it's to do with the cost of living, it's to do with the crisis in Ukraine. It's such an easy, lazy thing to blame it on. You can't blame it on COVID anymore because we're not under lockdown anymore. Or what else can we blame it on? Oh, let's blame it on Ukraine. No, none of this has any. Most of this is just a convenient excuse. They just want more money to pay their shareholders out more. And this guy was right on the TV. If everyone just said, fuck off, we're not paying that. If one or two people do that, you can take them to court. If a quarter of the population did that, so let's say 40 million population that kind of pay bills. If 10 million people out of that 40 million all turned around and went, stick your bills up your arse. Well, I'm not paying that. It's extortionate. They can't take 10 million people to court. They'd have to do something about it. The government could step in and do something about it. Everything could be sorted by just adjusting tax codes and adjusting taxes that companies pay. And you could easily sort it out. Go and search out, there's a guy that called in LBC, Nick Ferrari, a couple of days ago, who sat and figured out what the government could do to get £40 billion back in the economy over 2 years. And he's figured it all out, and he's figured out about adjusting people's tax codes and windfall taxes for the energy companies, and all the figures add up. And this guy's just sat there and done it at home and figured it out. And even the guy in the studio, Nick Ferrari, was kind of looking at him, and you could see him kind of listening and going, oh, here we go, another joker. And then he sat there, figured it out on his pen and paper and went, these figures make sense. It's completely transparent. Everyone can see what's going on. As this guy said, you say to people, these measures have only got to be taken for the next 2 years. After those 2 years, we've got this money back and we'll be in a far better position. But no, the government don't want to help us. Reason why? They can claim their bills back in expenses. They don't have to pay these overinflated prices for energy. They don't pay overinflated prices for their food. They can claim that back. They're earning 80, 90 grand a year. It'll come round to when the Parliament opens up again, sometime in September, and they'll be asked to vote on another pay rise. Vote on a fucking pay rise. These people are literally laughing at us and going like that, because they vote to give themselves a pay rise, whether they can have a pay rise or not. So they're not doing the job, but they vote every year to give themselves a pay rise. So we need to start doing stuff. We need to start taking action. We need to start saying we're not putting up with this shit anymore. Maybe the petrol stations, if everyone agreed that one day a year, or one day a week, no one used a petrol station. Let's say every Wednesday, boycott petrol stations every Wednesday. A couple of weeks of doing that, and the money they would lose, they'd have to fucking pay attention and do something. But we won't do it. We won't do it. We're not a nation that does that. Other nations will do that. France will do it. France have done it with their petrol. When their petrol prices were getting pushed through the roof, they did that. Other countries around the world take action. The people take action, and then they get what they want. This country don't. We just sit and fucking moan about it. I know I'm being hypocritical because I'm sitting here moaning about it. But that's what we do. That's what we just do in this country. We just fucking moan. Anyway, hopefully things are going to get better. I hope all you guys watching this, don't struggle too much. There is help out there that you can get. Unfortunately, it's not as much as some people are getting that are already getting help. But we've all got to stick together on this. We've all got to look out for each other. We've got to kind of carry on this whole thing that we kind of got into during lockdown, which is keep your eye on your neighbours, keep your eye on your friends. Make sure no one's struggling. If they are struggling, try and help each other out. If you found a way of saving money on something, let other people know. But anyway, people, I shall love you and leave you and disturb your Saturday no more. All it remains to say is keep watching the videos. I will keep trying to get on here a bit more, and I keep saying it. I'm going to try doing separate videos about separate things, so maybe just general grumbles like this, and then maybe have a bit of a grumble about football, so those of you that are football can watch that. But if you don't, I'm not going to mix it in with other stuff, so you've got to sit and listen to football stuff that you don't want to. Might start reviewing TV programs, reviewing music, reviewing all sorts of games and stuff like that. The possibilities are endless, but we'll look into that. Or I'll look into it and see if I can get something up online. Anyway, thanks for watching the video. If you liked it, give it a like. Subscribe on the YouTube channel. Pass my name on. And I shall love you and leave you, as I said before. Peace out, my lovelies.